Attempting to help a wild animal that's injured or in trouble is always a tricky task. Most creatures' natural instinct is to resist or avoid us, and when they're hurt and scared on top of it, their rescue can become very difficult to navigate, to say the least. Getting them to cooperate for the sake of their own life is a challenge that requires clever thinking. However, if you have an efficient plan in place, and you're willing to possibly risk your own safety, then it can be done. Take these bikers' experience, for instance. While riding along a trail, they discovered a fox trapped in a barbed wire fence. They knew they had to help, but the fox certainly wasn't going to make it easy for them. Anytime we come across an animal in the wild that is either trapped or injured, we'd like to think that we'd try to help them out of their predicament. However, because their instinct is to attack whenever they feel threatened, it can be difficult to offer assistance without putting our own safety at risk. In Italy recently, a group of dirt bikers were out for a leisurely ride high up on a mountaintop trail. The day was gorgeous and the terrain was perfect. They had ridden this particular trail many times before, and they were cruising along at a brisk pace. That's when they eventually all pulled off to the side of the trail for a brief water break and to discuss their route. Suddenly, one of them heard an odd noise coming from nearby. Curious, the bikers decided to follow the sound and to see if anyone, or anything, was in need of help. They had to be extremely careful, however. The ground was full of large rocks and slate that could slide out from underneath them at a moment's notice. After carefully traversing the rocky terrain, the bikers reached a fence that ran along the side of the trail. There, stuck in the wires of the fence, they realized the origin of the noise. A poor fox was stuck and was trying desperately to free himself. Unfortunately, the harder he tried, the more tangled he became. The bikers knew they needed to try to help the poor fox, but they had no idea how. The wire was razor sharp, after all, and they feared that they would end up injuring themselves or hurting the fox even more. Just then, one of the bikers remembered he had brought a small pair of wire cutters with him that might be strong enough to cut through the thick fence. The only problem was that he needed to get close to the frantic fox to do so, and that was going to prove to be difficult. Still, the biker knelt down next to the wire fence and started to whisper gently to the scared animal. He needed to make sure that the fox didn't think he was there to hurt him. It took several minutes, but the fox eventually calmed down. The biker slowly placed his hands up to the wire that was wrapped around the fox's paw. He knew if his plan was going to work, he would need to be as quick as possible before the fox felt threatened again. He inserted the wire cutters and began to snip, and that's when the fox started biting at him.